So you've been doing some pulls on the current weapon banner, which I don't think you should be doing unless you are later in the game. Further along, you have all the characters, all these different reasons, and you get Wine and Song. So in this video, we are going to talk about this 4-star catalyst, what it does, its main stat, and who it can be good for. So it does get up energy recharge, which can be good for a lot of characters. It's not a ton of energy recharge, but it's still enough. This is at R5, level 80. Hitting an opponent with a normal attack decreases the stamina consumption of sprint or alternate sprint by 22% for 5 seconds. Additionally, using a sprint or alternate sprint ability increases attack by 40% for 5 seconds. So it does have a permanent uptime between these two. But what is an alternate sprint? An alternate sprint is going to be like a Yaka or Mona, where they kind of go like under the ground within their element and then they pop back up. That is an alternate sprint. What does this do? Well, if we look at Heizou with no artifacts, his current attack is 696. Once we use a normal attack, it would decrease the consumption of the stamina from the sprint. And then if we sprint, it gets an attack bonus. Now his attack is at 975. That is that 40% attack increase. So this is going to be good for characters that you're going to have on the field doing a sprint to get that attack bonus, and for characters that would like the energy recharge to have their burst up more often. So now we're going to look at the characters that it can be good for. We're going to start with Heizou. Heizou is going to be an on-field main damage dealer using this weapon. He would enjoy the energy recharge to have his burst ready to go, and he would enjoy the stamina decrease for the sprinting and the attack percent, mainly the attack percent. So this can be a pretty good weapon for Heizou if you have no better option. Now, I will go ahead and say this from the get-go. This weapon is nobody's best in slot. This is going to be, if you have this weapon and no better option, these are the characters that can use it if you have no better option. Next is going to be Ningguang. Similar to Heizou, she's going to really appreciate that increase in attack. Ningguang does kind of sprint around a lot to avoid being hit because she's a little squishy, especially if you don't have EM invested into her for the strengthening of the shield, which you shouldn't because you want attack. This can be good. She's going to be sprinting around a lot. She's going to like the attack percent. She's going to like the energy recharge because Ningguang's burst cost is super low to begin with. So this will just allow her to have her burst constantly going. Anytime she takes the field, she'll be able to use her burst. Now, this does have to be used with a character that you're going to be using on the field, so that way you can sprint, so that way you can get the attack bonus, right? Like you can't sprint if you're not on the field with the character that has it equipped. Next is going to be Yanfei and Klee kind of lumped together, right? Yanfei is going to enjoy the energy recharge because her burst makes her charged attack stronger. And Yanfei and Klee use their normal and charge attacks a lot. So you can just kind of sneak one of those normal attacks in there every so often, especially with Yanfei. So that way you can get another seal and then use the charge attack. So that way you have the attack buff, just sneak that normal attack in there every so often to keep that attack percent up. Same thing with Klee. And they're going to like the energy recharge because they use their bursts a lot, right? Yanfei's burst makes her charge attack stronger, so she's going to enjoy it more than Klee, where her burst is just going to increase her overall damage, right? It's going to be attacking anything and everything just like Klee's do. Now, next is going to be a character like Lisa, and while she would much more enjoy the energy recharge versus the attack increase, having the energy recharge on Lisa is going to be good because her burst, when it hits enemies, it decreases their defense. So it's going to be much more of the energy recharge. Something like Favonius Codex would be better on Lisa. But if you don't have Favonius Codex, if you don't have a good catalyst that gets up energy recharge, then this one can take the place. That's what I mean by it's nobody's best in slot. This weapon is much better early game before you are able to get something late game, right? Like if you don't have the ability to get Flowing Purity, which is Fontaine's craftable weapon, then this can be good. Flowing Purity is going to be better on any of these characters, maybe except for Lisa, because you want the energy recharge to have her burst up more often. It's going to be good on any of these characters that want that attack percent over Wine and Song. Wine and Song is going to be great if you get it early. If you get it late game, you may not use it. Just like this one, R5 level 80, it was on nobody whenever I logged into the account. Thank you, doggy, by the way. So it is much easier. It is very easy to get weapons later in the game. The more you play, that will outclass Wine and Song. But this can be a good weapon early on, or if you just have a bunch of Catalyst users and you don't want them sharing weapons, this one can be okay. That is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, you be sure to leave it down in the comments. Myself or someone else, be sure to answer it, and I'll see you in the next one.